Bhadram karnebhi shrnuyama devaha Bhadram pashye makshabhiryajatraha Stirairangaihi tushtuvagam sastanubhihi Yashema devahitam yadayuhu Svastina Indro Vrdhashravaha Svastina Pusha Vishwavedaha Svastina Starkshyo Arishtanemihi Svastino Brahaspatir Dadhatu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So Shaunaka, the student, has asked the teacher, Angiras, for the knowledge, knowing which everything becomes known. And the teacher has recognized his readiness and thereby began to share this, or begun to share this reality. And he said that we now need to find an equivalent of the ornament and the gold. And the equivalent of the gold is Aksharam Brahma, which is consciousness or awareness. They're both synonymous words. And the equivalent for ornament is anything other than that. Anything that can be, anything that is visible is not Aksharam Brahma. Anything that is graspable, anything that is visible to your senses, to your hearing, to tasting, or seeing some light or some sensation, and being totally convinced that that is Aksharam Brahma, just the fact that it was made visible, it was made perceptible, is not Aksharam Brahma. Rather, Aksharam Brahma is the very I who is there, who was there all along, in whom this magical experience came. It is not graspable by the mind. It is like soap. Every time you try to grasp this reality that the rishis talk about, you find that you absolutely can't hold it because you're not supposed to hold it. Because holding is an idea that belongs to the mind and an object. You hold ideas, you hold thoughts, you hold love for something, you hold a belief in something, but you cannot hold Aksharam Brahma. People often say, I had it, but it just went out. That means my mind grasped it, and somehow the lights got turned off. And then again, the lights got turned on, but they got turned off. Just the fact that you're going in and out of grasping, ungrasping, grasping, ungrasping, shows you whatever you're grasping is not it. Your mind may have gone temporarily in a very calm mode, and you have come in touch with it, but actually you came in touch with a very kind of a mind that is pure and, highly, available to the realities. But that person, that I that remains there after I lost it, is Aksharam Brahma. You haven't lost anything. You may have lost the idea that you have had it, but I, the conscious presence in whom that idea came and in whom that idea is no longer there, that one remains untouched and ever available to you. So the mind keeps on making this Aksharam Brahma into an object. It just doesn't want to give up because the mind has been doing that to everything since childhood. For centuries, it's always grasped things. It has to be an object. No, you don't get it. I don't get it. You can say that, but for me, it's very hard. And there's nothing you can do much about this mind because it still has to develop its reasoning capacity, its discrimination, its sensitivity. So sometimes we just need patience. That's how it is. If it was simple, then once you hear this, it will be like, instant. Some people have that, instantaneous, and from then on, it's no problems. But most who listen, they're like, yeah, I'm relating to what you're saying. I don't doubt you. I follow your words. I totally get it intellectually. But you're not emotionally connecting. It's not going deeper into the heart. It's staying here in the head. Now, that's not a teacher. There's no teacher who speaks from the head or the heart. It is you are either stuck in the head and it's not going to the heart, or your heart is open and it's able to go from the head into the heart automatically. So that's, as we said yesterday, remember that? Withdrawal or projection or resistance. So whenever we find something's not working out, we tend to withdraw, project, resist. Therefore, it is not graspable in the past, in the present, nor in the future. You will never grasp Brahman in the future. Well then, will I ever get enlightened? You're enlightened right now. So we're not developing anything new. We are removing clouds that are denying me from seeing that I am the very seer who never leaves. I'm the very witness of all my frustrations, the mind's frustrations to try to grasp it. I'm the witness of those frustrations. I'm the witness, the presence that is available, in whom this person called Andre, or whatever your name is attempting to desperately get it. Who's the witness of that? What is the witness of that? That is Aksharam Brahma. So Aksharam Brahma never leaves. In the presence of that which never leaves, which is not born, which is unborn, what's born? Endless thoughts and ideas and fears of death and aspirations and life goals and all sorts of life drama, which is okay, because that is the job of the mind, to go through thoughts. So if it's unborn, will you ever get enlightened tomorrow? Let's get enlightened tomorrow, okay? Not today. Today is just an intro, warm up, okay? Tomorrow we're going to get enlightened. What's tomorrow? It's born, which is unborn. It has to be right here, right now. So the question is, what is right here, right now? Let's investigate that. I'll give you a hint. Right now, there are two things, for lack of a better word, we'll call them things. Two things, two realities are right here, right now. What's the first one? Okay, speak just from your heart. Just speak from your experience, okay? No intellect. Just speak from what's here right now. There are two things, two realities right here, right now. What's here right now?
Everything what I see, everything what I see and me.
Super. Okay. Everything and me. Anything else? What's here right now? Being. Okay, good. So what's always here right now? Two things. I am and objects that are being seen, including this person who's always seeing. Now here it says that which is unborn. Now objects are seen, right? So now what is unborn? So what is unseen? And yet you know it is here right now. What is right now unseen? You can't see it, you can't perceive it, can't hear it, but it's here right now. Yeah. Okay? Awareness, me, the conscious person, the conscious being. Who is this conscious being? What is this conscious being? You're like, me. It's so simple. Do you want to philosophize it? No, I'm just asking, I'm just checking up. Like the simplest being possible, that one is here. Like without any conditioning, without any drama, without any concerns, just that's Aksharam Brahma. Of course, in me there are thoughts, there are objects, which are born, which are full of attributes, which are a lot of forms, but me, the formless one. Hey, here's a question for you. Now that you have said what's here, you said awareness and me, okay, what shape are you?
No shape.
How do you know that you are no shape?
Any shape I can see because it's not me, it's an object.
Okay.
I can imagine.
Okay. Get the sense of me, whatever that me is for you. Okay? Whatever that me is for you. Be very personal, no intellect right now. Simple. Me. What shape do you want to give to this me? Can you give it a shape?
No.
Can you give it a size? Like, just get a sense of that me. Can you give it a size? Endless. Yeah. Okay, where is me located right now? Please locate this me. Yeah. Oh, okay, but without like even knowing the concept of body mind, just where is this general me located right now? Yeah, please define this me. I'm sorry, I can't, because it's that simple. Everything else is complex. Yeah, I want to tell you about my thing, you know. I just had the other night, I was going and I fell inside a hole and I got out. Endless chatter. What was present during this chatter while you were just listening to nothing? Me. And there was experience. Did you feel bored while I said this?
Yes.
What was there during that boredom? Me. Chatter doesn't matter. That's the point. Boredom is form, attribute, Where's your boredom now? Hopefully it's gone. You are able to grasp your boredom or your listening. It was visible. What was there during all of these things? Me. That is Aksharam Brahma. I think I made my point now.
Andre, it's also important to discern between me and the sense of me. It's also because if you start looking for a sense of me, it's also an object.
Yeah, so a sense of me, good. I'll put this a little bit later. So sense of me, see that sense of me, okay? Also, where is that sense of me, this person, in your dream? Suppose you have a sense of me being an entertaining person, right? Or a queen or a king, right? Like I am a successful person. I have a sense of me being a successful person. You go to dream, what are you now? What's your sense of me now? A beggar. So the sense of me has changed, hasn't it? But if I disappeared in the dream, would you want to dream? That means you would have to go out of existence. If you knew you were going to go out of existence when you dream, would you dream? No. But why do you dream? Because you know that me is not going to go out of existence. But what's going to change between here in the waking and the dream? Sense of me. Successful person, dream, bored person. What about positive attributes of Brahman? So then what am I? Says Brahman is dhiraha paripashyanti, that which the wise see. Now what does this word see? How can they see if we just said it is not visible? The wise see. This is called implied meaning, lakshyartha, implied meaning. That means they don't actually see, but they understand what Brahman is. And what do they understand? It is nityam, eternal. Nityam means it is not bound by time. We've just talked about unborn. All that conversation can take place. That conversation was a metaphor for everyone's life. It's series of chatter, series of nonsense, series of joys, but there is a me that is through and through them all. Okay? Then vibhum, which becomes many. Vibhum, that which becomes many. So look at this. So far, you may think all these descriptions of Brahman, it is not visible, it is not graspable, it is not born, it is without attributes, and it is formless. What does this sound like? Then what is Brahman? You may now get an idea. So Brahman is emptiness. No, it's nothing. It's shunya. Easy, because it's like there's nothing to say about it. So it has to be emptiness. But can from emptiness arise somethingness? Because you are experiencing, you testified yourself when I say, what do you see? Two things. I see something, but also me. So if you see something, and Aksharam Brahma is the material cause of all things, then can that material cause be truly nothing? No. Which is why it says it is vibhum. It becomes many. It is not emptiness, because from emptiness you cannot manifest somethingness. Therefore, we don't say Brahman is emptiness. We say Brahman is fullness. And in that fullness, there is also the concept of emptiness. In the fullness, there is also the principle or concept of nothingness or emptiness. Because you can only recognize nothingness, like in Nirvikalpa Samadhi, if there is something there. I am there. There's no thoughts. There's nothing there. Is that true? There's nothing there? Well, how do you know there's nothing there unless you're there? So it's not truly ever nothing. It is always I am. And in that I am arises nothingness. Okay, now if it becomes many, if this material cause becomes many, listen to the question, where is it? If the material cause, Aksharam Brahma, is the material cause of everything, and it becomes many, where is Aksharam Brahma? Where specifically?
Nowhere not.
Yeah, where is it not, please? Where is it not?
Nowhere.
What about the doubter who thinks, I don't think it's over here. I don't think, you guys are Aksharam Brahma, I'm not. Does that have any bearing on that which is everywhere? No. Because even you, who is doubting it, are also already Aksharam Brahma. The ornament, as we said, can doubt its existence as the gold all at once. It has no bearing on what is. And what is? It's the gold. You can say, I'm not the gold. I am a poor gold. I am this kind of gold. I am brilliant gold. But all these adjectives, do they belong to the gold or do they belong to the ornament? In fact, they don't even belong to the ornament. They belong to the ornament's imagination. We call this pratibhasika. The ornament has a little snake, I see you, snake, I get scared. And then I get a stick and I want to beat you. But I'm not really beating you, the ornament. I'm beating my idea of you, the ornament. So what do I have to do? First reduce my snakes in my own mind, seeing the world as a dangerous place, unfair place. Ishwar is there to punish me, to reward me, that I am unlucky, or I'm going through this, I will never be successful. These are all ideas that we carry that needs to be reduced. Until we reduce them, I don't even see the ornament. And if I don't see the ornament, how will you ever inquire into the ornament's nature to be the gold? So that's two levels. Look at this. One, reduce subjectivities. Bring it back down to the empirical person. Ordinary me, ordinary person that you are. Is that work? That's 95% of the work, you could say. You could dispute that, but that's most of the work. So now you go to a school and he says, hey, no, don't worry about your snakes. Don't worry about the ornament. Let's go straight into the gold, Aksharam Brahma. What is your mind going to do? It's going to put Aksharam Brahma where? In the bubble. Which is why most are living in, most is a questionable word, but there are a number who are living in such a bubble. And the way it's designed is Ishvara always pops your bubble. It takes some time to pop the bubble, but it's so wonderful when the bubble is popped. And when it's popped, the person goes back to square one, and then suddenly, I know this, I figured this out, but my life is not in order, and they go back into what they should have started a long time ago. Can't skip it, because it is not your order. You didn't design the universe. There is a designer, and a designer always sets the rules. Just like if you were building a computer game, wouldn't you set rules? So if you set the rules in a computer game, then the player has to abide those rules to pass the levels into his or her liberation. Whose rules is the player abiding by? Your rules. You who has thought through well all the facets of the game, how to pass the game, what lessons will be in the game, what is the sense of right and wrong in the game, when will you get points in the game, and when will you get points subtracted from the game. You're the designer for the game. We are characters right now in the game of Ishvara. And there's a certain rule set, a certain rules of the game that we follow. And we cannot cheat them, because if you cheat them, then there is a fallback. And that's called popping the bubble. That's how the setup is. So, the question was, if it becomes many, where is it? The answer was everywhere, which is the next term, sarvagatam. It is all pervasive. That means it's not confined to just here, it is everywhere at the same time. We say there's two kinds of intuition. The first is memory-based intuition, or present moment. So I have an intuition that something's wrong. I have to just move out because I got some variables in something's wrong here, and I have to go out. There was an example of a fireman who came with his colleagues inside a kitchen, and the fireman had 10 years of experience, and they couldn't see the fire. But the fireman, the commander, said, "Get out right now." And they all got out. The moment they got out, the kitchen collapsed. Why? Because the fireman had an intuition based on that it was very hot. And whenever it's hot, there's a structural integrity of the building reduces. Get out. That was the first intuition. That means you use information of the present and memory. Okay? Intuition number one. Second intuition is where you're very sensitive to the reality. You can call it whatever you want. From there, does it come from there? I don't know where you want to put it. It comes from intelligence. It comes from Ishvara. It comes from the Lord. Yeah, that kind of intuition, you could say, comes from, it's much more attuned. Okay. So if it's not over here and it's everywhere, why do you feel like you're over here? Remember that earlier question I posed? Where are you? You say, I'm here.
Because you've learned that you are the body.
Well,
That's what they told you.
yeah, okay. So look at this. So where are you right now? Honestly, I'm here. You can't say I'm over there because your locus of amness, your locus of experience or existence is here in the body. But then if you are the material cause which is everywhere, then why does it say, why are you here then? and not everywhere. Because if you are Aksharam Brahma, which is everywhere, why do you feel like you're here? Because of the presence of the body. Does that deny me that does that really mean that I'm only here? No. An ornament, a gold, right? A ring, a golden ring. Yes, I'm here as a ring. But I'm also over there in that necklace. I'm over there in that bangle. For the time being, while I have a form, I am here. But cognitively, I understand I am actually everywhere. Are you supposed to feel like you're everywhere? No, because you have a body and mind. And a body and mind is designed to localize that which is everywhere to just here. That's how it is. So it's not like liberation means that you experience yourself everywhere. You understand cognitively. Aksharam Brahma is everywhere, all pervasive, but for the time being, for these short 80 years that I'm living as a person, as a body, because the body is here, I, the all-pervasive one, feel like I am here. And that is okay. So there's nothing wrong feeling being here. I can tell you so many times people try to experience themselves everywhere. Very common question. If I'm Aksharam Brahma, which is all-pervasive, why do I not experience myself everywhere? Common question. Because you're not supposed to experience yourself everywhere. As long as there's a body and mind, appreciate I, the infinite one, the all-pervasive one, am here.
So you could say the body is the means of experiencing.
It's a means for experiencing, localizing your experience just here for the moment, which is totally okay. And inescapable. You only escape it, that's why we call it official moksha, when you drop the body. You have moksha now, understanding that I am everywhere. But is your experience everywhere? No. But you cognitively understand I am everywhere. When you drop the body, that experience of being just here, that too goes away. So for the time being, you can appreciate being the all-pervasive one here. Drop the body, then enjoy yourself everywhere. We're going to get to, yes, okay, we spoke about Satya Mithya, okay? So in other words, wherever there is an ornament, which is nothing but the reality, which is taking the form of a ornament, its truth, being the gold, is very much there. It's never away from its own truth. But look at the ring is not going to experience itself as a bangle. And the bangle is not going to experience itself as the ring, even though they're both gold. So for the time being, while you are a ring, a necklace, a bangle, appreciate yourself as such. But it doesn't mean that you are that much. Much bigger than that. Aksharam Brahma. Therefore, you relax. Oh, okay. So I'm all pervasive. That is a fact. But for the time being, I'm an ornament. And let me appreciate myself as an ornament. When I drop the body, that localization of the all-pervasiveness, that localization too goes away. Now there's no more localization.
So as a person, I'm a relative reality. As consciousness, I'm absolute reality.
Yes, as I'm both. Okay, so in other words, I'm absolute reality, but the relative reality is me also. But I am not the relative reality, right? So you can't say that the ornament is the ornament is the gold, but the gold is not the ornament. Yeah. I hope you can appreciate the freedom that this may start to bring, to understand that it's okay to be a human being, an ornament for a while. It's okay to be a small, limited, fragile, weak whatever you want. You don't say weak,
Complaining.
complaining.
There isn't much choice, is there?
There isn't much choice. There isn't much choice. I mean, some of us have worked on ourselves for like 50 years, and still you find out still there are so many holes to plug. You can't ever plug them. So you relax. Okay. So I am all pervasive. For the time being, there is a apparent localization of me being here. Now, to be more specific, what this means, we say that Aksharam Brahma is the invariable presence in three realities, calling three things: the knower, the known, and the knowing. Okay, I'm going to put Sanskrit: Pramata, Pramana, and Prameya. Another word is Jnata, Jneyam, and Jnanam. Another word is Drashta. Drashta. Known is Drishya, and knowing is Drishti. Okay, so I'm just pointing this out because so you don't, when you hear these words in Vedanta.
Can you move the right word a little bit to us because it's difficult to read
For everyone.
It's much better.
Okay, so Brahman is the invariable presence in the knower. Okay, now what is, someone said the waking, okay, we said the waking in a dream. So waking, dream, okay. So in the waking, you have a sense of who you are now. You have a sense of who you are. I'm a woman, I'm a man, I am I'm sporty, I am intelligent, I am, financial, I'm a broker, I'm an accountant. You have a sense of that now, yeah? Okay. So that's called the waking knower. Okay. Now, where is that, what kind of a knower are you in a dream when you find yourself to be a murderer? You call now a murderer knower. Maybe something nicer. And any examples? Millionaire. Do you actually dream of that, being a millionaire? Okay, millionaire. Now something more, I don't know what millionaire dream looks like, something more relatable.
Erotic.
Huh?
Erotic.
I only dream of guns, so maybe I'll stick to murderer. Okay, so you're a beggar. Okay, you're a beggar. Yeah, I grew up in South Africa with a lot of guns, so I didn't grow up in South Africa. I grew up in Serbia. I was living in South Africa. So I have often, guns, but you have beggar, you have millionaire, and so on. So the knower is different in your waking state, and the knower is different in your beggar, in your dream state. So the knower changes. What knower do you want to give here? Teacher. I am a teacher. I am a student. Are you still a teacher and a student in the dream? Absolutely not. Sometimes you are, right? Have you ever dreamt of having a class in a dream? Yeah, me too. You're so into your art, you even dream it.
It was a nightmare.
What happened? You just turn it off. Wake up. So the knower changes in the waking, and the knower changes in the dream. Okay, knower teacher, knower beggar. But there is a I, A conscious I, a conscious I that knows about the teacher, that knows about the beggar. The conscious I, the presence in whom the teacher is taking place, and the presence in whom the beggar is taking place. Okay. Now the known. This is the known. This is object. So what are you looking at right now? Pen. That is a object. Pen. If I do that terrible exercise of giving you useless stories and you say, this is so boring, is that an object? That's an object too. So this means narratives. Narratives. What kind of narratives? Life story. Who, what I am. Opinions about oneself. Opinions you often call ego or hamkara. Opinions. Opinion about this I. This is a small I, a worthy I, a powerful I, a beautiful I. These are all opinions. Okay? And knowing. Can you remember a time what you did a week ago? What did you do? What did you do yesterday? What did you do? How did you come here? Now you're processing that. Okay, I came here, took the car, rode. Okay, someone picked me up. Yep. Okay. And where's your room? How was it entering your room? You're thinking. Was the room warm? And what do you like about your room? Would you like some flowers in your room? Mental process. Knowing. Thoughts. Just the mental process. Right? Jokes, humor, whatever it is. Now it says, Aksharam Brahma is the invariable presence in the knower. Are you a knower right now? Yes, you are, because you're knowing about this experience. Do you know about this experience? Who does not know about this experience right now? Who does not know that this is going on right now? What a weird question, right? This means the knower is there. So Brahman obtains as the knower, the object, and the opinions or the thoughts about everything. So where is Brahman? I don't know, Andre. Is that a thought? That's exactly where Brahman is. Where is Brahman?
Everywhere.
I'm not sure. Everywhere. That's a thought. That's exactly where Brahman is. What's the knower of that thought? I am. That's exactly where Brahman is. Oh, beautiful nature. I love the greenery. What are you looking at right now? Aksharam Brahma, in the form of that tree. Because it is a known, it's an object. I got in touch with Brahman yesterday, and now I'm no longer in touch with Brahman today. Where is Brahman in that? That whole thing was just a thought. That's exactly where Brahman was. I lost Brahman. That's exactly where Brahman is. Wherever there is mithya, thought, or an object, or a knower, that's exactly where you will find Aksharam Brahma. It is sukshmam, subtlest of the subtle. What's the subtlest thing in this world? We're not talking about Brahman right now, huh? Super. You relate to that? What's the subtlest thing? Space. You can also say time. Wherever there's space, there's time. So, but if space is so subtle, then why can we objectify space? Or let me put it this way. Can you objectify space? Okay? If space is so subtle, how can you objectify space? Where is space? Show me.
Because of the obstacles or the objects in
Yeah, so how do you objectify space? Here. You just present two objects, anything in between is space. So even though space is so subtle, you can still objectify it. You can still see it in reference to two objects. But Brahman is even subtler than that. We often say that, what's the difference? If both Brahman and space is subtle, then what's the difference? Well, space accommodates objects, doesn't it? Here's an object, a biscuit. It's in space. But Brahman is also subtle. So what's the difference between Brahman and space?
Brahman accommodates space.
And also obtains as the very space. Whereas space, is space the biscuit? No. So the space accommodates the biscuit, but the space is not the biscuit. Whereas Brahman is also subtle like space, but Brahman obtains as the space and obtains as the biscuit. They're both subtle, but thus sukshmam, super subtle, extra subtle. It's so subtle that you cannot even objectify it. You can't objectify it unlike space because it's always the subject, the one in whom objectification takes place. And it's avyayam, imperishable. That means it never changes. Avyayam. It's imperishable. That means I can't change it. I can't make it better. I can't move it. I can't improve it. I can't undo it. I can't add anything onto it. I can't subtract from it. Can't destroy it. Huh? Cannot lose it. Cannot gain it. Because it never changes. If you gain something, it means it wasn't here and now it's here for me. That's a change of state. From not mine to mine. That's a change of state. In fact, how can it be yours today if it's all pervasive? That means it has to be right here, right now. So it is avyayam, imperishable. And what is imperishable? Consciousness is imperishable. Let me ask you this. If it's imperishable, are you ever going to experience consciousness or enjoy consciousness more than now? Hey, right now I'm not enlightened, therefore I am only enjoying a fraction of consciousness. The enlightened ones are enjoying full consciousness. I'm only enjoying 1/4 of consciousness. The wise ones, four quarters, 4/4 of consciousness. Is this possible? No. Why not? Because it is imperishable. You will never find it in levels. There's no higher consciousness, bigger awareness, more evolved awareness, smarter awareness, more divine awareness, because these are levels. It is avyayam, imperishable. It never changes. So you will never experience, you will never enjoy awareness more than you are enjoying awareness right now. Think about this. So there's nothing in the future that's going to be greater than it is right now. There was never a time in the past where awareness was dumbed down and now it's more evolved. As far as more evolved, that's called the mind, but it's got nothing to do with the presence in whom the mind is constantly developing. You don't have fractions. You're not experiencing or enjoying fraction of consciousness. Whatever consciousness is going on right now is the same consciousness of Buddha, of all of the greatest sages that's ever lived and ever will live. Because it is imperishable. It doesn't change. It has no levels. Now, in the next session, we will go through a prakriya and go through logic to show us how me, the imperishable Brahman, cannot be this body, nor these thoughts. We've talked about what Brahman is not and what Brahman is. These are called defining words. In the next section, we will talk about an actual method to help you see that you are not the body nor the mind. You're not the ornament. You're much bigger than the ornament. And this will be done in the next section. Meanwhile, we have homework to do. So this is verse 6 we have completed. So this means verse 4, 5, and 6 we are to get into groups after we chant. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnam Eva Avashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.